Hey, what is up, everyone? It's Rich. All right, hold on. I'm setting up. I'm super low. Why does it do this? Damn you, camera. All right, hold on. Let me get on YouTube really fast. This sucks. It's so low. Why is it low? Give me 1 second. All right, I need to get to my channel. Let's do this. Give me 1 minute, everyone. Hopefully people are here. I don't know. Maybe I'm not live yet. Let's see. Switch accounts. I was on my trolling account. Super rich friend, anonymous. All right, hold on. All right, my channel. Apparently I'm live right now. 8 watching. What's up? All right, I can read it better on this. Hey, what's up, Hunter? Thank you for signing up for Patreon, by the way. Hey, what's up, Hunter? Thank you for signing up for Patreon. All right, I am live. Hold on. Let me get my camera to focus. I am live. All right. Hold on. Let me get my camera. Yeah, I haven't streamed with this phone before, so this will be like a little bit of a growth curve. But hopefully everyone is going good. Oh, I got to mute the computer. But yeah, so my goal is to start streaming every Friday. And maybe even more. Hi, what's up? Hello, everyone. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking, Pete. I still don't have work. I'm supposedly waiting for 4 pages to show up today. We will see. But yeah, I have not had work in over a month from inking work. It's all of January. I had nothing. I couldn't line anything up. And then 8 days into February. So it's been a rough start to the new year, to be honest. Hi, Jezreria. How are you? Yo. But yeah, I'm working with Travel Foreman right now on Electric Warriors for DC. That's supposedly what I'm waiting for pages, but he's been working digitally, and it might not be a long. Hi, what's up, Sandra? I'm gonna email you today. I have not had work in over 40 days. This is not good. That's why I've been doing all the commissions. I've been fishing for commissions. Sandra is a great inker. She's Ink Monkey Hope on Instagram, but all you guys follow her. She's got like 70,000 followers. She's huge. We want Blaster Kid. I know, I want Blaster Kid too. I need work so I can work on it. So this is my schedule generally during the day. I'll break it down for you guys how I work. And really am productive this way. So I always work 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, I start drawing my own stuff at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I work till noon on my own stuff, which would be when I would work on Blaster Kid. Then from noon until I finish a page of inking work, that's like my work day. And then at night, if I have free time, wasn't a hard page. Usually I like to get back in my office around 6:30 or 7, and I draw till I go to bed. So that's the perfect schedule. Unfortunately, because I haven't had work, what I've been having to do is like I'm trying to act as an art dealer, which it goes okay. It's tough. You can't always sell art. Not everything you have like flies off of your comic art fan site. And then I've been taking a lot of commissions, but that can be very time consuming because there's a lot of correspondence, a lot emails, and it's not consistent, so it's been challenging. This is not. I knew the beginning of the new year would bring new things for me because I had like a long-standing job with Ryan Benjamin ending. I worked on Vampire Hunter D for about on and off for about a year. Honestly, the book hasn't come out yet. It's about 120 pages. So yeah, I did that, and when I finished that, I knew that would kind of take me right into January. Normally, I can line up work really fast from DC. It just hasn't been that easy lately. Sorry, I'm checking my emails. So yeah, let me get back on YouTube here really quick. So yeah, do you have any questions? Let me know. What's up? What's on your mind? I've been getting a lot of private notes about, like how to break in, inking tips. Yeah, I will archive the streams. I don't delete them, so it'll be up. Yeah, I don't pull them down. I'm hoping that the chat stays. I actually like that. I like to be able to have people. Oh yeah, no worries, Hunter. Go do your job. This will be here when you get home. And again, thanks for joining up on Patreon. I'm pretty sure you did, right? Let's see if he replies. Yeah, so Blaster Kid, like I'm really really excited. I'm going to go right into pages. I was going to do more prelim stuff and kind of show like, well, on my Patreon I've been showing a lot of my sketchbook stuff because I actually did tons of designs for the book over the 3 months that I was off YouTube. Um Yeah, hold on, Christian. I'll answer your question in a second. That's a good question. But yeah, so I had done hundreds of drawings for the story, and just trying stuff. I mean, I always recommend to people that if you can just like take 4 hours and just draw with no agenda, like have a loose agenda. Like I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna try to come up with villains for 4 hours and let it fly. I'll sometimes show the drawings to people and they'll go, oh, that reminds me of da 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 or da da da. Nowadays, because there's been so much concept art for video games, for movies, for everything. Look, there's no idea that you're going to really kind of explore that probably couldn't be compared to anything. But what's great about it is now I have 100 drawings that I can go through and go, I like that guy's jacket. I like that, like, and I've been showing to people, so I've been getting feedback, and they go like, I really like. I'll put little letters by them, so like A through G or whatever, and someone will go like, "Oh, Monster G is really really cool." And so you start to get a kind of a consensus of what people are reacting to. Hey, what's up, Victor? He's a patron, he knows. And Victor's been doing my daily draw-alongs. Not every day, but probably 4 or 5 times a week. I've been putting up little drawing challenges on my Patreon. So essentially, what it is they're ingredients. This is how I've always learned to draw, which I'm going to give them some warnings on this type of approach to drawing, but yeah, there's very important things in drawing that you need to have a good handle on, and sometimes it's good to pull them out of the mix and just focus on them as like one kind of key thing. An example would be collars on different sorts of things, collars on jackets, collars on superheroes' shoulders, horns and stuff like that. You start moving that around in perspective, it can be very, very challenging. So what I've been doing is I've been isolating things that I think are important and just encouraging people to just go for it. Just knock out 20 drawings of whatever I suggest. What do you think, Victor? Do you like that? Hi, Jean. How are you? Or Jean? I'm not sure. But Victor, because you've been doing a lot of the draw-alongs, like, do you feel like you're learning from it? And then I'll get to Christian's question. So, do you or have you done a lot of art studies to widen your visual library over the years? I'm tons, probably too much. You don't want to get stuck in a practice loop, which is what has happened to me at different times. Because a lot of times my learning curve has been stop and go, and I've talked about this in other videos. I'll get real busy inking, and as most people know, it's very very difficult to do a monthly book. So if I'm inking, say when I worked with David Finch on Forever Evil, that like 12 months I really didn't draw. I just didn't have time. David's pages would take a long time, and so whatever progress I had made before 2012, at the end of 2013 when I finished Forever Evil, I hadn't really practiced. So I would always go back to um like the fundamentals, not just the fundamentals. I'll get to your question in just a second, Hunter. Thank you so much for the super chat, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I would always drift back to the fundamentals, and then I would I would eat up that month that I had to draw, like working on anatomy, which isn't a bad thing. But at some point, you have to start doing finished drawings. You have to start creating your voice of what exactly you're going to do with your art, which means producing artistic images, not studies. So I highly recommend pulling things out and isolating it, but it's like you want to do it in small doses. It should be. It depends. It's different for different artists. I'm actually going to offer a tier, two different tiers on my Patreon, which are a little bit of personal coaching kind of thing, where I can look at your work and probably direct you because I've made so many mistakes along the way, but I've learned a lot. But I've learned how not to waste time, and I want to share that with people because I see people working certain ways, and I think that I can have them not make a lot of the same errors that I've made. So let's see. So Hunter says, in the meantime, here's some love. Take it easy, man. Ascension piece looks dope. Oh, thanks a lot, Hunter. It's a really, really fun piece to ink. When the guy contacted me about inking the pieces, the Batgirl piece was something kind of more normal. Like I've done other Finch pieces that look like that. But yeah, the Ascension piece really had a lot of potential. Hi, Frank. How are you? Um, yeah, but yeah, the Ascension piece had a lot of like I don't know, call it legs. It's like you knew that was a show piece. Hold on, I got another email. I'm constantly checking my email for work. As sad as that is. Okay, I got to post. But yeah, um, my patrons know kind of how distracted I've been, sort of like hustling. It's tough, man. I'm telling you, never had to scramble this hard to line something up. Um, but yeah, so TG Inks. Hey, what's up, TG? How are you? How do I get on the Patreon status? Do you mean just to sign up for Patreon? I haven't done the tiers yet. I'm going to do them this weekend. When I get this package of pages, it's supposedly 4 pages. I inked 1 page this week. It was the first page that I've done all year of inking for a job. But I need to get 5 in by Monday, or I won't get paid this week. So I desperately need a paycheck. So this is the fun side of comics. But yeah, like Monday is our invoice day. So by Monday morning, I need to have it in to get paid the following, or like the Friday coming up. But if I don't, then I don't get paid for 2 weeks, and I really need a check. So this weekend, I probably may or may not have time to set up the tiers, but I want to do an inking one where I actually Skype with you. Like for people that want to learn inking and really kind of take it to the next level, I'll give you like a test page. You can do it, and then I'll review it for you. So I'll provide you with something to work on, and then yeah, give you a really nice like 45-minute critique, and you can show me your other stuff too. You know what I mean? Like it's, you can kind of direct how you want to spend the time. So as you draw, do you ever stop and say to yourself, it looks like Travis or Jim Lee style? And if it does, does it give you a sense that you're going in the right direction? Yeah, I totally know what you're saying. Like I have a lot of Travis in my stuff. I think that I try to draw like Travis. I also try to draw like Frazetta. I also try to draw like George Bridgman. I Some of the stuff just happens. Like I remember years ago drawing something, and it kind of looked like Adam Hughes, and this would be my best advice on that, is just let it happen. You don't need to try to do that. And I get, like I said, I've gone every, if there's 100 different paths you can go down to like learn and get better at drawing, I've gone down 99, maybe 101. I found one through the bushes that no one knew about. That's actually, you know what? That's a really good analogy for how I've learned. It's like there's all these paths, and I just start walking like straight through the bushes, yeah, it causes a lot of problems. But yeah, look, if you're drawing and it's looking like Jim Lee, let it happen. It's okay. I mean, what will happen is as you get better and you get more consistent with your work, then you can kind of direct it away from it. If all you're hearing, the first comments that people are saying is, this really reminds me of Jim Lee, take it as a compliment at first, but at some point you're gonna want to bring in other elements that are gonna define you. Like my black drawings, I don't sign them, but I think I can stand behind the fact that if people have seen them, they're gonna recognize one if I don't sign it. So I think that it wasn't really intentional when I went into it, but those are pretty branded hard. Like I think that, again, if you're aware of those pieces, you would be able to spot one and go, that's got to be Rich. Okay, so let me catch up with the questions. How do you go about getting commissions? Okay, so I'm on Comic Art Fans and word of mouth. So Comic Art Fans is a little dead, unfortunately, but what I do is the approach, and I'm gonna have to do it today too because I need more commissions just in case this inking job falls through. So I'll post past commissions that I've done. I'm looking more for inking commissions just because it's comfortable for me, and because I'm in like kind of such, I wouldn't call it like a financial bind, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's an easier day for me to spend 5 hours inking a David Finch piece than it is for someone to go, I want Batman in front of Gotham City, and you know what I mean? Like that can be pretty challenging. So I'm like there's a comfort zone for me with inking. So yeah, try Comic Art Fans, post up some examples of the pieces that you did, and like say you want to take bust commissions. You're going to pencil, and when pick your mediums. Maybe a penciled bust is $40 or $50. Maybe it's $80. Maybe penciled and inked. A full figure with no background is $100, but if it's inked, it's 125. Create like a menu for what you're going to offer, and then try to show examples of it. I have a cat behind the curtain. So let's see. I'm gonna go. I always feel lucky that my stream doesn't blow up. I was watching Secure Team 10 last night. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like a UFO channel. Like his stream is just flying by. Poor guy. His super chats are the only way that he can actually, I think, reply. Okay, so hey, so if you come into the Bucks, I'll buy you a coffee. Oh, thanks, Eric. Eric's a friend of mine. He's Eric the actor. Let's see, how many pages do you make per day? If I'm inking, it's generally one. And look, you can do more. But I think, like, unless you have to do more, you probably shouldn't. Again, I work 7 days a week, so 7 days with a window to do my day work, which is inking, is plenty. And to force it, like the most challenging job that I ever did was inking David Finch on Forever Evil, and it had nothing to do with David, although David's stuff is dense. Forever Evil was 1 million characters. It was under an extremely high pressure deadline. And then on top of it, you're inking Finch, and he would sometimes bring in background assistance. I'm not 100% sure that he did on that book. But yeah, that was dense, and it was real scary. The 52, when they did the new 52, that was pretty terrifying. And I knew going into that, like, DC was launching 52 books, like, all at once. I kind of described it as Normandy. I knew for a fact that of the 52 teams that were going to start those books, very, very few were going to be intact by issue 6. I was 100% right. I knew it would destroy people because it was so intense. The second issue of Batman Dark Knight that we did, I had an anxiety attack one day because there was so much deadline pressure on me. I thought I was going to die. I was in the kitchen and I just was like losing it. So that's how intense it can get. It's the fun side of comics. So let's see. Oh, thanks, Ted. I like that. First time, long time. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, no, okay, so what's in front of me is it's a double door closet, and I have a huge computer monitor in front of me. I have a bookshelf here. I have tons of original art up here. I have record albums. It's a big, big space. And then behind me is my drafting table, which the drafting table is really big. It's honestly too big. I've got a Cintiq 27 on it, and I have another monitor that I kind of use to like watch TV. That TV I don't use. It's been in here since I was like, playing PlayStation 2 games or whatever. It's like, it's just a waste of space. I need to get it out. And then over there, I have 2 huge bookshelves with tons of books. I have 12 guitars over here. I have a lot of stuff. It's not a real big space, but it's packed. It's a lot of fun toys. All right, so how many erasers do you go through? I think people are afraid to make mistakes while drawing. I erase probably 50% of the time. So there you go. If I'm drawing, I'm not even kidding. I erase so much. So yeah, I use I have 3 different erasers. For full pages, I use they're these Japanese, like I don't know if they're vinyl or like plastic erasers that smell like peppermint. If you Google it, people always ask me about them. I don't know what the name is. It's got like a, here, I can show you. The eraser's not in it, but it's got like this little, that's really funny. So it's this. You see there's like a little face, like a smiley face, but it smells like spearmint or peppermint, but I use those to erase full pages. For like when I'm penciling, I use one of those kind of like Pentel like click erasers that's it's about the width of like a pencil, and you can get thinner ones too, but I'll use that, and I erase a ton. I try stuff. The patrons know because they've seen a lot of my sketches. I sketch really, really loose. Like my stuff is like, it's very hard for me to flesh them out. They're so loose, but there's really good stuff in there, and that's been the big chasm for me in terms of being able to pencil well. Is I have such strong finishing muscles, but I draw so loose that it's like these two personalities like fighting. When they merge, it's going to be very, very powerful though, and they are starting to merge. I've made a lot of progress. If people think that I had some pretty decent drawing ability before, I've in the last like 6 months, I've had a huge growth curve. I mean, it's noticeable to me. But yeah, I race like 50% of the time. My drawings look like the John Buscema in the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, where he shows you like 4 different versions of how you can sketch. Mine's like the worst one, the messiest. That looks like that. Hey, what's up, Benjamin? How are you? Nice to see you. So, discovered your channel a few days ago. Awesome stuff, man. Hey, thank you very much, Art Dragon. I'm making sure that I'm not missing one. So, Mark said, true, true. How about centering yourself to frame? I'm trying. Like, my chair is sitting low here. Like, is that better? Yeah, I need to really tighten up my professionalism in terms of the thing. It's just tricky because there's nowhere for me to set my camera except for up above me. It's the only shelf that I have in front of me. I could probably shoot that way, but it's I only have a few feet of space right here. It's a little, maybe it's difficult to see, but there's like 4 feet of like ground floor. Okay, so let me know if I missed anyone's question. Just ask it again, because again, the chat isn't going that fast that I can't get to everyone's question. So didn't a bunch of people get laid off from DC? We'll be back on Patreon soon. Yeah, they let go of 7 people. I heard it on YouTube. I didn't know. No one told me. And that could have been what was going on in early January, because I was like emailing people, and I wasn't even getting replies from some people. I'm not saying that those are people that were fired. I'm just saying that, like, I think there was a lot of pressure at the company. Maybe they knew it was coming. I don't honestly know. I'm getting a text from Ryan Benjamin right now. Hi, Ryan. I don't know if you're watching the chat, but yeah, there was 2 names that I knew, which was Mark Chiarello, and then I think his name was John Cunningham. I'd only met him once or twice at parties, but yeah, it's really, really sad. Chiarello is shocking because Mark is like one, a fantastic artist, and a really, really incredible I think art director. So that was a bummer. So let's see. Hi, Nathan. How are you? Victor said, hey, Rich, any chance you'll be at the Phoenix Fan Fusion in May? No, I mean, I might have to cancel WonderCon. I honestly don't have enough money to do a show, as weird as that sounds. But like, for me to do WonderCon, I would drop almost, I don't know, $800 to $1,000 to do it. I have no cash right now. I mean, it's like, I'm trying to make it each week. So they know WonderCon is holding a place for me. They want me to come up. But yeah, it's a little sticky right now. Sticky. But I know I've got good work. I'm very confident in what I do. I just, and here's the deal. I like, I'll be clear, because people hear stuff like this and they blow it out of proportion. Okay, there's only so many teams that work on books, and there may be people that would love to work with me right now, but they're on deadline. They've got a team together, and they're not going to break it apart to hire me. So is catastrophic as it sounds, it's also timing. I've missed jobs and had to turn down work because I was working on something else. I've had to turn down really, really cool jobs, in fact, where you're 3 issues into a 6-issue thing, and someone that you would love to work with shoots you a note and says, hey, man, are you free right now? I'd love to have you ink me. And I'm not going to drop a job to do that. So the only time I ever leave books is if I don't feel that I'm adding to the equation, or it's just a style that I don't sync up with. And it's only happened a few times. And it's honestly, it's nothing personal. Those artists, sometimes I'm very, very slow on certain work. And I've talked about this before. It's not so easy to spot in someone's pencils. Like, a page may look easy, but it's very, very slow. The way that their hand moves, it's real subtle stuff, but this is true, is some people maybe have a different arc to their hand. And when you're working on their stuff, your hand just naturally doesn't want to follow those lines. So everything feels like more effort. It would be almost like if you were trying to type and you had keys that maybe stuck on your keyboard, and every time you're hitting T, it's like sticking down, and you're like, man, I just can't get into a flow. So I've left 2 jobs because of that. Not in the middle of a job. I always like go, hey, it's not working out for me. These pages are taking me forever. It feels like you're trying to get out of quicksand working on them. It's interesting. Yeah, 43 people, 52. Thank you guys so much. Like I said, sometimes my honesty can be confusing to people, because they go, like me saying that, like, Finch fired me twice. It sounds really bad, but it's just, at some point, teams separate, and you're let go. So it's not as bad as it sounds. You see, it's like it's that's the professional landscape, and that's why I prepare you guys for this. You're gonna have to have thick skin. It's I remember when message boards started to pop up, and it would really hurt artists' feelings when someone wouldn't like their stuff. I remember thinking, like, what do you care? Like, so like you can't put that much value in someone's criticism, because if you're doing something public and 100 people see it, odds are a lot of people aren't going to care for it. So, and then some are going to be vocal and tell you about it. It's like you just got to roll with it, baby. Thick skin. All right, so let me catch up with the thing. Do you do sketches as well as ink? I'm a better inker than I am penciler. There's no two ways about it. But I've done it longer. But I don't really see a lot of limits with me for drawing as I get better with it, to be honest. I think that I'll do okay. So what do you think is the best way to get my work critiqued? I mean, Ryan Benjamin does critiques on his Patreon. I'm going to do it on mine. I mean, cold calling artists is not the best way to do it. I've had people recently just, they pop up out of the blue and they want your time immediately. It's like, I'm more likely, like, if someone's on YouTube and they comment on my videos all the time, you start to know their names. You go, oh yeah, like Michael always posts, or Pat always posts, or whoever it is. But at the same time, I'm very aware of like someone that just comes up out of the blue and is like, hey, can you look at my stuff and give me feedback? It's like I can't do that all day, and you get asked a lot. So I try to pick my spots. It's not that I don't need to be financially rewarded for it. I think enough people know that I will give them feedback on their work. I just need to know you. I need to know you better. So that would be my advice: is get to know artists, get to know editors. Start a relationship with them online. It's everybody's out and kind of online, and look, if you're constantly commenting on some professional penciler's work on Facebook, they're going to kind of get to know you. And when you send that instant message after 3 or 4 months of communicating with them, and look, I know a lot of these artists will never reply to you, but some will, like I would, but it has to be someone I know, because there's too many that just pop up out of the blue. It's like you accept the friend request and they're already asking you for stuff. That's you're less likely to get it going that way. All right, so I think self-publishing is great. I think that there's a real revolution going on. I mean, obviously there's a lot of stuff that's hyperbolic right now, but at the same time, I think self-publishing is a fantastic thing, and I've encouraged it for years on my channel. I tell every artist, what's the thing that I tell all of you? Write. Start making up your own characters. Start making up your own stories. If you're good enough to be a creative artist and draw, you can 100% write. I'm telling you, you just have to believe in yourself, and you have to let it go. It's the same as me sketching. Sit down with no agenda and just start writing something. I've been writing my whole life, so maybe it's easier for me, but I'm telling you, I believe in you. I believe you can write. If you can draw, you can write. And if you're crappy at drawing and you're crappy at writing, then practice it, and you'll get better. It's the way that nature is. Nobody's great at anything when they start out. They could be good and have natural ability. That doesn't even guarantee success. How many naturally gifted people do you know that squander it? So look, hard work is always going to pay off. And there's so many ways to learn now. You could be on YouTube for the rest of your life and watch tutorial videos. I'm not saying it's the best way to learn, but you could steal PDFs online of just about every good art book. It's all out there. So do it, babies. All right, so C2E2, no, I won't be out there. That would be cool too. I would love to do that show. Thank you, Victor. Tell WonderCon you can't afford it and get a guest spot. No, WonderCon is being very supportive. It's just like, if I get work, I need to stay home and work. That's the reality of it. It's like I need to get some regular checks rolling in, and then I'll be good to go. It's like, look, I could get an email today that they're like, hey, do you want to do a 6-issue miniseries? And then I'll immediately book WonderCon and have a lot more free time. So it's coming. It's just a matter of time. I need to weather the storm. And look, anyone that's followed my channel for a long time, even when I had work, I warned all of you about this. I said, it's my YouTube channel is a survival guide for professional artists. Every job that you work on eventually will end. And there is no guarantee that you're going to get a job after that. I was using the Gears of War reference in a recent video, saying that like people that work on video games, you know, you work on a video game for 2 to 5 years, and when it's done, they don't always take the whole team with them, or the franchise closes. They go, that was the last game. We're not doing it anymore. We're going into this. You know, so look, you all need to be versatile with your skills. Hopefully have some sort of financial plan in place if you don't get work for a little bit of time. And then the TV does work, Sheldon, but I don't watch it. I don't watch TV at all. At night I maybe put on TV for like 30 minutes at the end of the day. So let's see. Wow. Hey, what's up, Omar Comics? I'll say hi. Hey everybody, remember to hit that like button. Yeah, that's fine. Smash the like if you're here. 55 watching. We could get it up to 30, I bet. Let's do it. All right, so what are we talking about today? Anything you want, Red Ross, you let me know. If you have a question, fire it off. What's up? So let's see. Hi, Rich. Glad to catch the live stream. Thanks for the likes on Instagram. Yeah, no problem. Enjoying your behind the scenes on Patreon. Yeah. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it. I really appreciated your compliment on my sketches yesterday. That was really nice of you. It's, you know, I tell you, don't believe the hype, but sometimes if someone compliments you, take it and enjoy it. It'll keep you drawing. Hey, what's up, Gabe? All right, so let's see. Are you a self-taught artist? Yeah, I am. So people get a little sketchy on that term, but I have never really had formal lessons. I learned on my own, got professional work, and you know, along the way you meet people that are willing to help you. You know, it could be other pros. You know, look, if you're in the fields right now as an aspiring artist, you know, try to join a community where people are learning, because a lot of those people will be your peers 5 years from now or 10 years from now. It's just the way that it is. We know everyone. If you've been online for 10 years, you know a ton of people that you've known from being online. Thank you, Sandy. I appreciate it and love you. I am going to email you today. I would rather call you, actually. Maybe I'll try to give you a call if you're free for like 5 minutes. Who the hell are you and why am I watching this? I don't know, Cracker Daniels. You tell me, baby. You came to my channel. I didn't come to yours. All right, so let's see. How do you get to befriend artists without being creepy? It always felt weird about that stuff. No, not at all. Like I said, what you need to do is just follow them on social media and respond to them. They're just normal people. And again, look, some of them have pretty big buffers up. I see it. I've talked about this before too. If I walk up to a pro that doesn't know who I am based on visuals and they don't see my badge, sometimes you'll get a very different reaction to when they see your name, if they recognize you or if they know your work. So, you know, it's just like different personalities. Like you're going to meet some people in life that are going to be very open and willing to help you, and then other people that really don't have time for strangers. So, you know, what you do is you feel these guys out. There's hundreds of professionals online. You know, interact with them when they post stuff, and try to create some sort of relationship with them. And then, you know, I would wait a few months and then just maybe shoot them an instant message and say, hey, I love your channel. Like, if you ever get a minute, would you mind like looking at one piece? Like, keep it really, really simple. Just go, like, if I sent you like a JPEG of like one of my drawings, would you mind just like giving me like really fast feedback on it? Stuff like that. It's like, I don't need a link to like someone's gallery and I'm gonna look through dozens of photos, you know, like to like give them feedback. No one has time for that. Just on the fly. So let's see. All right. Ever think about combining your passion of music and your comic stories? Well, Jim Lee used to always tell me that I should just write comics about my life. So I've had a pretty like crazy life, like before comics. I was a very different person when I got into comics. It's like I'm a lot nicer now. I was a badass though, just not to be mistaken. But yeah, I was on a very different path. Let's put it that way. Who do you think is the top artist right now, or maybe an artist who inspires you these days? So I like Matteo Scalera. Dude, that guy is crushing it on Instagram. His drawings that he does these like kind of washy, like Copic drawings. They're badass. I am a full-time artist, Omar. I have been for over 20 years. Matteo Scalera is great. I think in comic book art, I'm always a big fan of Olivier Coipel, but I think Clay Mann right now is doing a really, really kick-ass job. I haven't seen that many comics this year to be completely like where like this is good and this is good, but Clayman is doing some very very impressive stuff. I flipped through one or two of the books that he's doing right now, and his storytelling is really nice, and it looks like a hard book to draw. So I've been impressed by him. But Matteo Scalera is probably one of my favorite artists on Instagram. There's a few though. Instagram is great, man. I follow like 750 people, and I follow beginners. I said that in another video, but like if you want, when this video goes up, stick your Instagram link below, and I'll follow all of you. So it's totally good. Yeah, Mateo's great, right? Adam Lum. All right, so let me see. I'm gonna keep doing the questions. How do companies pay you? Do they pay by page or every 2 weeks, monthly? So DC Comics pays by the page. I think that there are people that have contracts, but I would still think that it's page rate. So I can turn in a voucher every 5 pages, and the day for your invoice to be due for DC is Mondays. So every Monday, if I have 5 pages done from the previous week, I just kind of nudge my editor and say, hey, I've got 5 pages in. I don't even think I need to do that. I do it just because I'm paranoid. Yeah, and then that Friday I get paid for 5 pages. But if I only have 3 pages done, then I'm not going to get paid till the following week, unless you're at the end of a job. So if there was 3 pages left and you finish it, then you're kind of closing that job. And yeah, and then, oh, hold on, the chat's moving. If you guys really have an important question, you can always super chat too, just so you know. But yeah, so that's how we get paid. But there may be companies that pay by book. Wow, Istanbul, wow, thank you. I really appreciate that, Jumping Jack. I hope you have a great day. So Victoria says, I need to practice my writing. Actually, it's mostly writing dialogue for the story, but I'm trying. Look, your characters will start to speak for themselves. The more you write, the more that you'll know instinctively how your character would behave, but you need to spend time with them. Kind of just sort of like when you draw, you're an actor. Every single thing that you draw, you should be acting through it. It's so important, and it's the difference between kind of like, well, there's a lot of differences, but that's an X factor that will really help you is feel it. That's what Frazetta did. Frazetta would get in like beast mode and draw, and that's why his stuff was so powerful. I can make more black drawing hoodies. Sheldon, let me know which piece you want as a hoodie. I'll do it for you. I'll write a note and I'll put that up this weekend. Just let me know which piece you want. I've learned more from your channel than I think I would have anywhere else. Keep them videos coming. Hey, thank you very much, Frank. I appreciate it. And look, the channel will get better. I've been busy. I don't have the greatest setup here, but I can give you guys so much more. I'm serious about that too, because as I get better at art, I'll share that information. And when I start drawing and like writing and really kind of becoming who I am, you're gonna see a huge it'll be interesting. Who's better, Art Thiebaud or Scott Williams? I mean, come on. It's like, it was funny because I see this with guitar players, like where people argue about who's better. This is my belief on that, is like they both exist. They both are two different people. Just enjoy them both, and it doesn't really matter who's better. It's like, I like Buckethead. I like Jimmy Page. I like, John Five. I like Devin Townsend. It's like, I don't really need to waste the energy to like decide who's better. It's a fun thing to chat about if you're just going to geek out as a fan, but I don't know. You tell me who's better to you. Getting followers on Instagram is the most difficult thing I've ever done. Yeah, it is. It's my Instagram has been growing finally, but you really need to nurture it. I did a video a while back about being focused on Instagram and making sure that you have a clear voice. It's really, really important. If you want to show art on Instagram, I would suggest that you only show art and don't get too involved in personal photos and that kind of stuff, unless you have a big following. That's where you can support it more. But look, like posting pictures of your kids or your dog and stuff like that with your things, I mean, it can work for you. It just depends. Like every scenario is different, but I would recommend that if you have less than 1,000 followers and you want to be a comic book artist or some sort of concept artist, just show art until you build a following that's really willing to support more of your personal things. I really appreciate you looking at my posts on Instagram. Yeah, no problem. Like my feed is probably very different than most people's because I follow such a wide variety of people. I've got people that I follow that barely can draw. Not, and that's not a bad thing because everybody starts that way up to, like the the current living gods. So it's a pretty wild ride. I actually enjoy it more, to be honest. It would get kind of depressing when I only followed really good people, and that wasn't why I did it, to just be clear. But it's like if you only follow like 50 artists and they're all really good, yeah, it can kind of like start to it's like oh, I suck, I want to get better, like why can't I draw better? Hey, what's up, Jeff Edwards? How are you? Nice to see you. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm catching up to the posts. Drawing a comic while listening to this. You're a great inspiration for me. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us. Yeah, no problem. Pillar Menesis. I appreciate it. I'm stuck at 50 followers. Yeah, trust me. I know, dude. There was a point like 5 months ago when I had come back to Instagram. I never really devoted myself to Instagram, to be honest. I was like, I wasn't going to do it. I had it set up and it was kind of going. And then for like a year and a half, I was just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to focus on YouTube. And then when I went back, like building the following was brutal. You'd gain a few followers and then 6 people would leave and you're like, God, man, this is never going to grow. We're out of the algorithm. That's the problem, is the big fish get the views and get it. And it's a very difficult platform to build yourself up on now because of how it is, unless you really kind of work the system. So aspiring artist from South Africa. Hey, how's it going? Wow, that's awesome. Hoping to get my stuff out there soon. Your advice helps a lot. My Instagram is Gam. Put it when the stream is done, stick it in the comment section. It'll be easier for me to find it, but I'll totally follow you on Instagram. It'll be my pleasure. And thanks for coming by. What is the difference between a fountain pen and a nib? Because they are the same. Yeah, I think you mean a nib. So they're similar. A fountain pen, I think, actually holds ink, though. I'm not positive about that, but like a crow quill, you dip in ink. So I think I have it here. Like, yeah. So a fountain pen would actually hold ink like a like you could just draw with it and it's got ink inside of it. What I do is I put my ink in this thing. It's like a little salt dispenser, like a fancy thing. If Sandra's still here, she's seen this at Wildstorm. I have 2 of these. This is like old Russian crystal family heirlooms. I'm decimating it with ink. I've used them my whole career though. And then I dip a nib in it and I draw with it like that. So hold on, let me okay, so it refocused. Yeah, so they're similar but not exactly the same. And there's a lot of really great Japanese tools now that have all variations of stuff. I mean, there's never been a better time to get like art tools. I think it's really, really cool. So let's see. Hey Richard, I commented on one of your Instagram posts and you directed me here. Thank you so much for this. This is great. Thank you for taking the time to do this. Yeah, no problem. My pleasure. I'm actually waiting for pages. So they could be on the porch right now. We'll see. Actually, you know what? Can you guys hold on for 1 second? Let me check my porch because I don't want them to sit out there too long if they're there. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to go check. It did come. So see here, this is what happens though. So it's supposed to be 4 pages. It's 2. I ain't gonna get paid this week. So that sucks. Steve Reich. I don't know if I can show him. I'm not really sure what's on him. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, and again, this is why it's so important for me to do Blaster Kid and just start drawing on my own, because it's like you can't be as responsible and reliable and on it as I am, and then experience this. It's frustrating. Okay, so let me read more questions. All right, so yeah, my YouTube channel has grown. I've noticed that everything that I've been working on, all the seeds are starting to actually grow. It's really, really cool. It's about time. Like, it's been challenging. But it is what it is. It's like I look at it as is that I should be providing better content that connects with people. So, you know, that's why my Instagram has grown, is because I've kind of listened to the feedback that's out there, and you know, then it grows. I want to launch Blaster Kit as soon as possible. I was hoping this box was going to have 4 pages in it, and by Monday I would have been back working on it. Now I have to scramble for more commissions. So it's I'm in a tricky spot. What I may do is, if this doesn't even out in the next 2 to 3 weeks, I may just go for it. And I think there's a part of me that believes that my fan base will actually step up and knock it out of the park, and I could really make some significant money where I wouldn't have to deal with this anymore. Um, and look, I love what I do for a living, but I don't know what to do. It's man, it's challenging. So if you're watching this, or you do watch this, just know how important your support is to me, because it really is. And it's not some bullshit whatever, like sales pitch. Everybody's got their hand out, but I'll deliver the goods. You know it. Like, look at my Instagram feed, what I posted over the last couple of months. That's what I want to do for people. But it's like I can't do it in a completely dysfunctional setup. So let's see. So Jeffrey Edwards, I want everyone to follow Jeff on Instagram. Jeff, when this is over, put your link to your Instagram. But I met Jeff at WonderCon years ago. He's the nicest guy. He's so talented. I sat next to him, and I was he was doing commissions that were so good, and I was like, oh my god, I suck, because I'm doing things that are more conservative, like busts and headshots and things that I know that I can do and not completely butcher. And he's like, yeah, Spider-Man and Daredevil fighting on a rooftop. I was like, holy cow! He's really, really talented, but his Instagram following is low. I have friends like that. There's a guy named Loopy Dave. I suggested to someone last night to check out Loopy Dave. Loopy Dave is an amazing artist. If you've been on DeviantArt, you may follow him. He's kind of like a caricature artist, but he's such a badass. The guy's got 1,200 followers on Instagram. He should have 70,000. He's that good. But it's just, said, if you didn't hop on Instagram early enough, it's really, really hard to build your following at this point. So let's see. Do you know in-person artists that inspired you? Yes, I do. I've been very, very fortunate to work with tons of people that inspire me. When I was hired at Wildstorm, one of my favorite artists was J. Scott Campbell, and I was hired to work with J. Scott Campbell and Alex Garner on Gen 13. So that was a real big deal. And two artists that I really admired a lot. Travis Charest. I was so nervous when I first met Travis. He wasn't working at he worked for Wildstorm, but he had moved to Los Angeles when I was originally hired. And about 4 or 5 months after I worked there, one day, and I always worked 7 days a week. Sandra Hope, if she's still here, Sandra Hope and I were at Wildstorm all the time. On the weekend, Sandra was my buddy. We would always work together. We would watch Disney movies like Lilo and Stitch and the Iron Giant, which isn't Disney, but we had a lot of fun. If Sandy, are you still here? And we'd make Wildstorm mochas. I think, is that what we call them? But yeah, so one day Travis was going to come down from LA. It was a Saturday, and I heard the door open, and at the time they would always leave the doors unlocked at Wildstorm on the weekends. And so it's 11 o'clock in the morning, and he had to finish something, and so they were like, you're gonna come down to San Diego and you'll just draw at the studio. And I heard the door open, and oh my god, I was freaking out. I'm like, Travis is here, he's in the other room, oh my god. It was such a big deal. I don't geek out about too many people, but man, that guy was on fire. And yeah, so for Travis fans, I think you're all probably smiling pretty big hearing that story, but you can imagine how I felt though. Dude, he was on top of the world at that point, and it was my idol. It was I could feel the energy. I was in an office at that point, and he was working in the pit where the interns would normally work, and that was where I had been before. And so I was in. I shared an office with J. Scott Campbell, Garner, Adam Hughes, and Tom Ranney. But yeah, I could almost feel his presence through the walls. It was pretty funny. I probably went out there and said 2 words and then went back in my office and just was whoo. All right. So let's see. I'm gonna try to catch up. This is great. That the it sounds funny, but I actually relish the fact that I can read all the posts and not have to like it's not flying by. Yeah, Loopy David is great. So I had a chance to work for Wildstorm back in the '90s. Wow, really? By Sarah Becker? Yeah, Sarah was a good friend of mine. Now I just draw for myself. Yeah. So, oh, thank you, Jamie. I'm making sure that I didn't miss anything. Thank you, Jaime Ramirez Art, for that you'll share the word. I really appreciate it. Hey, Rich, are you open to doing reviews, critiques of your fans' comics? Yeah. What like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have two tiers on my Patreon. One is like a lower price point, and I can give you feedback that way. And then if you want something more like hands-on, like where I actually spend like an hour like with you going over something, I think the two maybe like one would be $5 and one would be 25, depending on if you just want me to like check it out and kind of give you like a couple of like things. It like I said, it's just going to be a time-based thing. How much time do I have to spend on it? Lippy Dave is a great character artist. I found your channel about a week ago, and I'm glad I did. I just got back into drawing after a 20-year hiatus. Trust me, I can relate to that, Jay Green. I'm super rusty, but it's slowly coming back. Your videos have been extremely helpful. Thanks. And the videos will get better, I assure you. Like what I have up now is good, but I can do better. And I actually was trying to make a video a couple of days ago about that, where I'm tightening up everything in my life right now. I'm working on my health. Not that I'm not unhealthy, but I'm fat, so I'm trying to lose weight. But you know, how I handle just all my business, everything, I have to raise my game. There's just no two ways about it. I'm very, very competitive. I feel like that there's a ton of opportunity in comics right now, and I get my patrons pumped up about this too. They know I'm fired up, and if you're around me, you're gonna be fired up too. I'm not fucking around. I'm serious. I'm coming to fucking kick ass. There you go. I'll drop some F-bombs for you, but it is true. So let's see. I got accepted in the Illustration Academy this summer. Have to crowdfund the trip, which makes me nervous. But if the universe doesn't want me there, I wouldn't have been accepted. Keep on, have the faith. Yeah, well, good luck with that. I mean, I can try to plug it for you. So wait, see my doodles. Okay, like I said, Frank, post them in the comment section after the video goes away, or you know what I mean, and like you can comment. How do you manage the money when you're in a tricky spot? Do you do commissions? Yeah, commissions and sell original art. I held back some original art. I have tiers of original art that I'm willing to sell. So like I have stuff that I'll sell more willingly. I have sort of like I don't really want to sell it, but I could if I'm in a pinch. And then I have the stuff that I really don't want to sell, but I could, and probably most of those would be more big ticket items. But yeah, I would prefer to sell like a lot of the stuff I've done over the last few years. I've done, you know, like New Superman. I'm not as attached to that, or Arkham Knight. I mean, that stuff I can let go for less and not feel like I'm ripping my soul out. I want the recipe for the Wildstorm mocha. It was funny. It was hot cocoa mix, that creamer, like the powdered creamer. It was not like coffee. So let's see. Start a new band as a backup. No, I'm not getting in a band. It's like Speedballs. Yeah. Dude, live stream how to make Wildstorm mocha. Right. I know, right? I could get all the ingredients. Sandra and I could do it. We could do a dual thing. I totally relate to your Travis story. When I saw Olivier Coipel for the summer, I was freaking out. Yeah, and Coipel is great. We would have guests sometimes come by the office, and that was always really exciting, where it's like you'd go, like Coipel came by the studio one day, and it was funny watching other artists react to him, because I won't say the name, but someone that I was surprised was totally fanboying out and fawning over him. And I was like, so you are still a fan. Not that he acts like he's not, but it was kind of funny to see that. So yeah, well, so let's see. Oh my God, Mr. Friend, you are just too kind, sir. Thank you so much for the shout out on my IG, Jeffrey Edwards. Yeah, holy crap, man. Thank you for just everything you do. Yeah, no problem, Jeffrey. You're a good guy, man. You deserve more followers, and I hope you're doing well. Perfect story time with Rich during my lunch hour out here in the, oh man. Yeah, it's cold. It was really cold here last night, but not Midwest cold or East Coast cold. Sweet, thanks. I'll be hitting your Patreon. Yeah, check out my Patreon. I'll put a link to it. It's been on most of my videos now. If you look in the description box, you can find it. Man, I gotta say, my cat is playing under my feet. It's funny, I don't know if you can hear it. Man, I gotta say that the panel page composition and design episodes that you're putting up here are hugely informational. I have to say that too few artists tackle that side of comics creation. Yeah, you know, and honestly, like I'm a little insecure with my knowledge on it, and I want to do more, but I'm kind of like a one trick pony where it's like for me, my sorry, I'm gonna get my cat's toy and check it for. Like strip panel naked, like that guy really gets into like the film noir, like this person is sad because the window is open, and you know, like really subtle stuff. And I'm kind of more design, what looks cool, impact, like I have both sides. I mean, I think that there's an emotional content to it. I'm not sure I could explain it as well as him, so I'm actually kind of trying to study his channel to look for that stuff in books to be able to explain it. A lot of the teaching for me is a learning process. I've said in other videos that a lot of the things that I address in my videos aren't things that I really think about, but because someone has asked me, then I think about it. So I think the assumption is, oh, like Rich has got this on his mind, or this is what he's thinking about. It's not always the case, but a good question is a good question, and then I learn from learning it to try to explain it, which is fun. I really enjoy learning. So everyone should check out Rich's Patreon. Thank you. Yeah, no, and the Patreon's getting better and better too. I think that I'm getting a handle on it, and the tiers will be helpful for people. So let's see. Okay. Rich, you should stream some art or inking on Twitch. Yeah, I'm gonna do that too. I do pretty well on there, and I'm a low man on the comic totem pole. Right. Oh, and Sean, make sure you do. I wrote you today, but do the new draw along. It will be fun. I want to see what you can do. You don't have to spend a time like spend a ton of time on it. Spend like 10 to 30 minutes and see what you can do. A lot of times I have to knock them out fast, but I still want to do it to learn. So what is the piece of art that you will never sell? I have a bunch, honestly. Like some are going to the grave with me. I've got a pretty good Travis collection. I don't really talk about it much, but I had started collecting Travis's art before he got really hot. So I collected that, and then working with him, I got some of our art back. But the second you start showing it around, like it gets really weird fast, and it's like it brings attention that I don't really want. But I wouldn't sell that. I have a few Chris Pacello steampunk pieces that I wouldn't sell. Wow, thank you very much, Black Sand. I really appreciate it. If you have a question, let me know. But thank you so much. I really appreciate it. But yeah, those would be the two. I have a Mike Mignola cover that I bought. It's kind of, I don't know if it's a funny story, but so I could never afford like a real nice Hellboy cover, and this is back in early eBay days, maybe like 2000 or 2002. I had a little bit of money, like maybe $800 or $1,000, and Hellboy covers were already probably going for like 2 or 3 grand. But Mike had been doing fringe pieces like on the side. And so Dylan Dog cover popped up on eBay, and it was really nice. It was a super cool cover. It had like a creepy monster and a archway, and then like the hero kind of like walking in. If you Google Dylan Dog covers, you could probably kind of figure out which one I'm talking about. It's like a golem with Dylan Dog like walking in. And I was so excited. I was like, this is the piece. It's like it's a Mignola cover. It's done right when he was doing the best Hellboy stuff, but I'm not gonna have to pay Hellboy money. And the guy pulled the auction down, and I was like, fuck, are you kidding me? Like I wanted it so bad. So I ended up buying, I owned the Zombie World #1 cover of Mignola. I would probably never sell that. Then I have about 10 Aaron Weisenfeld pages and a cover that I wouldn't sell. So let's see. Oh man, you're in. Oh, so let me catch up with the stream. Were you at the studio when Jim Lee brought that one billionaire guy to the Wildstorm Studios when he was looking to sell it? I probably was there. I don't actually remember that. Let's see. Thanks for giving me a follow on Instagram. Yeah, no problem, Danny. I appreciate it. Your stuff is fun. I see it actually a lot. You come up in my feed more than some people that I follow. Actually, I see your work almost every day. Yeah, I don't know. I remember though when DC bought us and the first meeting that we had and all that stuff. It was an interesting time. I've talked about it in the Travis video a little bit because they wanted me to stamp our original boards with this like big ink stamp. Not me personally. They were going to stamp them, and I was actually worried it was going to destroy the art. Hey, Black Sand, if you do have a question, please let me know. I really appreciate the super chat. Um, um, Mine -7 in Montana. Holy cow, that is cold. I didn't realize you lived in Montana, Atomic Bulldog. That's pretty cool. Late to the stream, but how's it going? It's going good, Bison. And hey, Hector, how are you? Um, let's see. Do you think digital media will kill the traditional tools? Because I see a Cintiq. Well, I will always wanted a Cintiq. I couldn't afford it. Actually, I got it as a gift from my wife's parents. They were they wanted to get me a new computer, and I said, "Look, what I really need is I need a Cintiq." And they were nice enough to get me that about 7 or 8 months ago. I don't think that look, like the reality is digital media is killing some traditional art. There's no two ways about it. It's why it's so hard for me to get inking work right now. Is a lot of pencilers are just kind of drawing on the Cintiq, and it's faster for them to do it. They're collecting a second check, really from it. I don't know what the inking rate you get for doing that is, but yeah, I mean it's definitely limiting jobs. Is it killing it like across the board? No, not yet. I don't like for me personally, I'm gonna slide into home base doing traditional art. I love digital art. I actually really love it. I've said it a million times in tons of videos. Like one of my favorite things is concept art, and almost all concept art is digitally painted. A lot of it. I love that stuff. I love doing layouts on the computer. I love it all. But at the end of the day, original art still has a value, a monetary value that you can sell. If I do a bunch of drawings on my computer, I could sell prints of them for $5 or $10. But if I do an X-Men cover and I'm a popular artist, I might be able to sell that cover for $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. It just depends on how you're seen in the business. There's artists right now that can do a cover and give it to their art dealer and sell it for more money than I make in a year. A brand new cover, not a cover that's been sitting around for 30 years that's time tested. So look, there's still a ton of opportunity out there, but you wouldn't have that doing digital only. So that's my pitch for why digital is actually why traditional is still relevant. Give me that Mignola cover. It's a good cover. It's very weird. It actually looks like an Eduardo Rizzo drawing. If you look it up, it's Zombie World #1. It has like a Rizzo feel to it. It's really weird, but it was done in like the kind of like mid '90s. So it would have been like around the time of him doing like Wake the Devil for Hellboy. I want your X-Men color template. Oh yeah, that was a gift from a friend of mine, Joe. Joe is a real legitimate art collector. You can find his gallery on Comic Art Fans. But yeah, Joe Joe is legit. But yeah, that was very, very nice of him. But he doesn't really collect color guides. Somehow he got that. Um, and you're talking about the X-Men, the ones that I bought off of Joe Rosas. Yeah, I forgot about those. That's been like when my money got tight, that was one of the things that I was thinking. I was like, well, I could sell those. I would definitely make more than what I paid for them. I was surprised that they popped up on eBay. Joe Rosas actually saw the YouTube video and commented, and I've never even met him. It was pretty cool. Cinema never killed theater. Right. Give me that Mignola cover. Okay, so Richard Friend, I just got here. Have you figured out where you're gonna crowdfund your book? People keep asking me that. People are having a lot of success on Indiegogo, and I know that there's this weird sort of I don't know, do you call it political climate or something like look, I'm my focus is on doing really kick-ass comics, and like I've always been pro sort of like creator, meaning like I want artists to be able to have long careers doing art. And so what do I suggest? I suggest writing, creating original characters, things that you own. Does it mean that you never work for a company? No, I've worked for a company for a long time. They're great people, but a company is a company. It's they're gonna have their own agenda, and the machine will roll on with you or without you. So, hold on, I forgot the question across the thing. But yeah, so it was which Indiegogo or Kickstarter. I'm leaning towards Indiegogo, but I don't like it. Just seems like you can expand the amount of time more, but I don't really know the ins and outs of either. So I can't pretend that one is better or one would fit my needs better, and it wouldn't be a choice based on anything other than what would help me get the book out and looking good, and everyone would be comfortable with the way that they're funding it. Wow, thank you. Um, let's see. Pillar Menaces, you give me a second and I'll answer your super chat. Yeah, dude, the fan art for Blaster Kid completely blew me away. I was so flattered by that. That was the nicest thing ever. I saw 2 or 3 pieces of fan art almost immediately for the character. It was incredible. It really was something that I never anticipated or expected. Like, it really surprised me. I had, and I said to them that the only thought that I ever had is I thought, oh, it'd be kind of weird if like someday someone cosplayed her. I don't know why the thought popped into my head, but I never even considered fan art. And then boom, people immediately did fan art. It was unbelievable. It really, really was touching to me, and it inspired me. It did. Can you do the draw this in your style? Oh yeah, I would love to do that. That's a great idea. Um, yeah, that would be cool. I've wanted to do some like so James Reyes he's box office artist on YouTube. I actually inked James on something years ago. I think it was some weird kind of like mech book that Wildstorm did, but we did either a couple of covers together or maybe 2 comics and 3 covers. But James does a lot of really fun stuff. I've always been hesitant to be gimmicky on my channel, but I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. Like seeing someone draw Venom in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, and 10 minutes. There's an entertainment value to it, and I actually like the idea of the challenge. So I may copy some of the stuff that he does, but I remember give him credit. I think James is a great guy. His channel does great. It's incredible. He had one video get like 15 million views. It's unreal. That is unbelievable. I'm so happy for the guy. So super chat is not available in my region. No worries, Hector. If you want, just look at any of my videos. I have Patreon. You can go there for $1. I've got like 40 unlisted videos. I'll send you a link to like 25 of them. And the Patreon is really interactive. You'll have a lot of fun there, and you can maybe try that. The 2 I would never sell is a Jose Luis Garcia drawing and a Justice League. Yeah. And I had pieces in the past that I thought that I would never sell, but occasionally, like you get in a pinch. So let's see. Super's not available. Thank you for your input on my inks on your Patreon. Yeah, no problem. No problem, Mario. You have a really balanced look to your inks. That's I keep complimenting you on that, but that's an important thing because it's you have a good eye for balance, and that's gonna pay huge dividends down the road for you. Yeah, thank you. The Finch pieces have been really cool, RB3. Finch sets you up for success. If you're a good inker, Finch will make you look like a badass because he spots really solid blacks. He has really fun like rendering techniques, and yeah, I mean like Finch makes you look like a stud. But if you're a stud, then you can super stud it. But yeah, Finch is great. I would love to work with him again. I shoot him an email occasionally, just go like, hey, do you want to like team up? But I haven't heard back from him, so he's doing something. I don't know what he's up to now. I have a George Pratt sketch. That would be really cool. Very, very cool. Do you have any Michael Turner original art? No. The only thing that I have is I have that artist edition book over here. The Superman, Batman. It's from Graffiti Publishing. They did it. It's really cool. So let's see. Thank you so much for following me on Instagram. Yeah, no problem. I was really happy that you commented on the fan art I did. Wow, that's funny. No problem, and hope you can get more work soon, man. Good luck and thanks again. Yeah, no, I'm so bummed you didn't send 4 pages. Come on, dude, get with it. It's 4 pages. Just do one every day, and you'll never miss a deadline. So super. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to catch up. I have okay. Gubba, let us know if you plan on selling the color guides. Yeah, no problem. I'm not right now unless I don't get steady work here in the next couple of weeks. Are you planning Blaster Kid to be a graphic novel or an indefinite series? My first goal was to do it is like 3 books, two or three like oversized books, meaning comic books, but like maybe like 64 pages or something like that. I was gonna really kind of try to pull people and see what do you want? Like, would you rather have it as a series, or do you want like a little bit more? I don't want to like give away the story, meaning like is it a finite series or an indefinite? But my thought was that it would be 2 to 3 pieces, meaning comics or graphic novels. So let's see. Yeah, it's gotten ridiculously political, all black either way. Indiegogo is better in my opinion. Yeah, exactly. And you know, again, I stand by what I said. I've always been pro artist. I've always wanted people like I came up in Image. Image was this very creative, sort of rebellious thing, you know. And so you know, it's not like I've never been anti corporate by any means, but that was what got me excited about comics. I always say that I signed up to do comics because it was like superheroes fighting superheroes and double page spreads and like all this stuff, and then all of a sudden like all that stuff kind of seemed to evaporate, and it was like I was working on books that really didn't have the same feel. But at that point I was strapped in for the ride. You just got to go with it. But yeah, it was like, oh, you know what it was, is because we had to weather the writer's storm. There was this period of comics where writers didn't want to write superhero books, so you would do you know, you would do a title like, you know, whatever, you would do blah blah blah, and they'd go, well, it's too obvious to write blah 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 wearing his costume and doing this and that, so we're going to take him out of his costume. And in fact, he's not even going to do superhero stuff, he's going to do other stuff. And you're like, okay. And I have stack of original art this big of that stuff that will never ever sell. So I want to do fun stuff like superheroes and sci-fi and adventure. um I have a piece I will need you to ink that finished it for me. Dude, let me know. You can note me through Instagram and get my email address. I would love to do it. And look, odds are in another week or two I'm going to have free time, because I don't think that this comic job that I have is really going to provide enough work for me to do. Like I said, I work 7 days a week, so I move through stuff pretty efficiently. Yeah, that Forever Evil run that you and Finch did is one of my favorite comic book runs. Yeah, it was really good. That was hard. I talked about it earlier in the stream. Have you used blue pencil to draw with? Yeah, I do. So blue pencil is really really cool. I actually love sketching with it. I do find it difficult to draw over. It's a little waxy, and sometimes my pencil doesn't want to go in it, and also because it's a little ghostly. I find it tricky to find my line, but I use these. I have a bunch. See. Oh yeah. So they kind of changed the name of them, but it's let's see. Erase. I think they're called copy knots. Let's see. But I think that they're. It says Col Erase, COL dash erase, copy dash not. But Prismacolor makes blue pencils too that are pretty good. But yeah, they're a little waxy for my tastes. Richard Friend, I'm backing 48 to 60 page graphic novels. Yeah, see, that's what I'm seeing too, which I think is a great size because you can really tell a good story. There would be no way that I would do like a 20-page book. Is it? I don't. It's not going to. It's not a big enough hit of story. Software update ready to install. No, do not even install now. Um, uh, but yeah, I think that that's a good size. It's perfect. Right. I agree completely. Thanks, Paul. Paulus. By the way, it's great seeing you on Twitter. Yeah, you know, I am going to start tweeting more. I'm a little nervous about Twitter. I know it's a fighting, it's ground zero for fighting, but I'm going to keep it light and focused on art. But you know what's funny is, and I actually thought about this, is so the Finch piece that I'm inking right now, I assume was drawn when Ascension was created, which was quite a long time ago now. Even though I'm inking it in 2019, I believe the book was many years ago. And I was surprised that I haven't gotten any heat for what the girl is wearing. To be honest, hi Sandy, how are you? Yeah, I'll call you in a little bit, Sandra. I would love to talk to you for a second. But yeah, you know, she's not wearing much clothing. Like she's pretty much nude with like just enough stuff to cover up like the stuff that you really can't show. But that could be considered very offensive now. So it's a slippery slope with that things. So can you color? Because I feel it's hard for me. You know, I mean I can color. I'm not a professional colorist by any stretch of the imagination. But you know, like if coloring's not your thing, it's not the end of the world. It's something that you can kind of work on the side. Omar, this is would be my suggestion for you is if you can't color right now, just get good at drawing, because that's the most important thing, you know. I tell people that are interested in inking, like if you're really at the beginning where you don't really know how to ink and you don't really know how to draw, I would suggest learning to draw and then just kind of ink your own stuff occasionally. Just you'll have a wider safety net underneath you. But yeah, learn to draw well. You worry about coloring later. That's my advice for you. Um, I have trouble keeping stories short. With my first comic, I haven't been able to pare down to under 250 pages. Wow, yeah, that's a big story. Sounds like the Great Game. Like I have a bunch of comic ideas, but Great Game is a very expansive. I'll joke and call it like Lord of the Rings. But yeah, there's a great story that Alan Moore told about when he was early in his career. He was coming up with something, and I'll probably misquote what really went on, but he would kind of set up stories that were way too big for him to complete. You can try to pare that down. If you don't think that you can, then you know are you drawing that story that you write? Oh yeah, Wildstorm Mocha was crappy coffee plus Swiss Miss and a little bit of that powdered dairy stuff. I don't know what we call it. Creamer? Like the creamer. Make it yummy. Sandra and I had so much fun on the weekends. It was cool. I missed those days, Sandra. That was really cool. Man, Wildstorm was awesome. Sandra, I was telling how I would coffee mate. Yeah. There you go. I was telling how when I first was hired at Wallstrom, they didn't ever lock the doors. That was the weirdest thing. There was always people there 24/7, basically. But yeah, for maybe 2 years that I worked at Wildstorm, they did not lock the doors ever. Like a fan could come in on the weekend, and if they could get in the office building, they could walk. I had it happen. I was working on a Saturday by myself one day, and I heard noise by the front desk. So I got out of my office and I went down to the front desk, and there was like 3 fans like standing in the lobby. And they stole all the comics. There was a spinner rack, and they had stolen every single comic off the spinner rack. Yeah, usual suspects. Yeah, Sandra's awesome. She's really good. She actually was very inspirational to me when I was really struggling early in my career around 1997. She started inking J. Scott Campbell a little bit more as Garner was kind of starting to shift gears into drawing more of his own stuff. And she had done a Vampirella piece over J. Scott Campbell, and like that was the bar. It was like, man, you need to get better, dude, because it's like you need to be good. So to make it in this biz, you gotta be driven and always trying to fine tune your work. Sandra knows. It's but it always gives back. That's the greatest thing is what you put into your art, you will get in return. So let's see. When will you post more images of Blaster Kid? I've got like 2 or 3 pieces almost done. I've been so sidelined trying to like sell original art and take commissions and stuff like that. It's been really like the last 4 weeks has been really kind of chaotic because I don't have regular work. Regular work puts me on a schedule. The problem is when you don't have work, you start going like, well, maybe I should put up eBay auctions, and then that takes 3 or 4 hours, and you know what I mean? It's been funky, funky monkey. All right, so you're feisty and you'll have no problem on Twitter. Right. Yeah, it's just you don't want to have that one night where you say something that you regret in the morning. You're a beacon of peace and professionalism. That's a big reason I follow you on 5 platforms, more than any other artist I follow. Muting toxicity is heavily encouraged on Twitter. Yeah, right. Um, I set up a Twitter years ago and I never ever used it. I think I tweeted just a few times. I would always tweet about Soundgarden. I'd have some night where I would get nostalgic and I would tweet like a picture of like Chris Cornell. So I'm trying to keep it art focused. You know what I mean? Like I don't really have time for other stuff. I draw all day. That's what I do. It's like if you want to know where I'm at my desk working or I'm asleep. That's about it. Or I'm running errands. Okay, Iron Giant. I know, Sandy. Lilo and Stitch. We had all kinds of good movies we would watch. Those were the best times. I miss those days. I'd killed to have that back. Walk in on Saturday morning. Sandra would be at her desk. Would be all cloudy and rainy up in La Jolla, and then we would work all day. and I'd leave at 5. It was what was really fun at Wildstorm is, so Wildstorm was constructed to look a little bit like a spaceship inside. I mean, it's really weird. There's no kind of straight walls, so all the walls are kind of like slanted and curvy, and like the front desk is like this weird kind of like kidney bean shape, and then the pit where all the colorists would work, and where when I was an intern I sat, is kind of like the bridge of Star Trek. Like it's set up literally like that, like where there's two seats that would be like the captain and co-captain chair, what I don't even know what you call it, and then kind of like tables around it. And so as the day would get longer and it would start to get dark at night, and especially on the weekend when no one was there, it was kind of creepy. And so it was really fun walking around Wildstorm. I wouldn't turn on any lights. I would try to walk through the studio in the dark, but there would be like computer monitors. It felt like you were in like an alien movie and like all the power had gone off, but like the emergency power was still kind of like doing things. I have a goofy imagination, so for me, you know, I would try to like make it fun, but yeah, and supposedly there was a ghost on the second floor. A lot of people could feel it. There was a hospice right by the elevators at the end of our hallway. And if you were working there alone or like late at night and you'd go down to that corner of the building, super creepy. I don't know what it was. I would run sometimes back to the studio. So let's see. Can you do a video on the important to at least comics? Wait, so can you do a vid on important to least important? Yeah, the from most important to least important for anatomy, shadowing. Look, the most important thing that you need to learn to do is you need to learn to draw figures. And I'm gonna break it down even more. You need to understand perspective and form. So everything that you draw is, if you think about it in terms of simple shapes, I've talked about this in another video. The basic forms, the cylinder, the cube, the sphere. You need to master those in lighting. And if you can do that and move that stuff around in perspective, it will help you so much. But that goes into figure drawing. But once you understand perspective and you can turn simple shapes in your mind and then start building more complex shapes, you're going to be good to go. That was the big thing, because everything is form. Least important would be like a finished look, you know, like worrying about like how neat your brush feathering would be, or you know, something like that. So let's see. Are there still comic offices like Wildstorm these days? I would love to work in an environment like that. There may be. I don't know. I know Brian Haberlin, I think, has a studio. Does Top Cow have a studio? I honestly don't know anymore. So congrats, locking down my first 24 pager written and drawn myself. Very cool. Also dynamic poses, page layouts. Yeah, layout is very, very important, you know, but you're going to need to get a handle on your basic forms first. I mean, you can work on both at the same time. It's not a bad idea. I mean, a good way to learn is to try to draw pages, but it'll challenge you on a lot of fronts. That's the truth. I would not get heavily involved with lighting if you're having trouble drawing things. I mean, you can play with it a bit. And then just try to pick maybe 2 or 3 really good influences. Very, very important what you look at. You know, think of that as your sort of vitamins. So let's see. I didn't read a lot of comics, but I love drawing so much. And superheroes, is it going to stop me from becoming an artist? No, but you're going to need to start reading more comics for sure. Form and shape makes it look better, not shading. Yeah. Richard Friend, I know you like some heavy metal. Have you listened to Manowar? They changed my life for real. I'll check out Manowar. I know the band. I haven't listened to them very much though, honestly. I've probably stumbled on something, but yeah, I know who they are. They've been around a long time. Thanks, Bulldog. Are you posting anywhere? Seeing some of your review videos on comic art, I picked up that Jim Lee IDW oversized book of his art. Holy smokes, that thing is awesome. Oh, is that out? So the Jim Lee IDW book is out? I didn't know that. I'm supposed to get one for free because they owe me one more book. So I might have to pursue that. Let me know if the Jim Lee IDW Artist Edition came out, or Artifact Edition. Are you going to WonderCon? My plan was to go to WonderCon. Right now, if I get work, I'm going to need to stay home and do it. I want to go, but I don't have consistent work right now, so I don't know what to do. Are you second floor ghost? Yeah, no, dude, I'm telling you, a lot of people saw, like, I never mentioned it for a long time, but I would always get wigged out, like in that corner. And like you said, sometimes at night when I would be working, if I was alone, I would just like go like run, like, and I would run back to the studio. It's kind of silly, but yeah, very intense feelings there. And it's not something that like that's the only time I've ever had anything weird like that, really. Man, Wildstorm sounds so awesome. I'm getting nostalgic just listening to your story. Yeah, no, dude, Wildstorm was badass. I have some great photos. I've never really shared them because I'm saving them for my book. Someday I'm going to do a book about like my early career, and I've got lots of cool stuff to share in it. But it would kind of spoil it if you saw them all before. Rich, know your kind of fellow fan and opinion on the last trilogy of Nine Inch Nail EPs. I've not heard those. You know, I checked out a little bit of it, but I haven't heard them. But I do need to check that stuff out. When drawing the figure, do you start with the head like almost everybody, or with the torso like Jin Lee? I start with the torso. I used to start with the head, but I honestly I'll put the head on last. Like if you sign up for my Patreon, you see my sketches. A lot of times I'll just draw the neck. You know, like it looks like a cut off tree with just the neck like base and no head, because the head is easy. If you got your figure down, yeah, the head is better. And I still like some people will be like, draw the spine or whatever. I think of it as two big blocks. I think of it as the wedge of the chest and the hips, and I work around that, and then I stick the hands where I want the hands, and I build the arms like that. And what you'll find is when you do it that way, at least for me, the one problem I have to watch out for is sometimes because of where I place the hands, because again, I'll suggest where my hands are going to go. You start connecting the anatomy, and they can be disproportionate, meaning like you might draw one too long or too short, even if they're foreshortened. But you want to be careful of your distances. That's been a real challenge for me as an inker transitioning to penciler is proportion, is keeping my proportions consistent, because that's done for you when you ink. You know, like I don't have to worry about one arm being slightly bigger or a shoulder not matching, so that can be tricky. Atomic Bulldog. Hey Rich, the problem with Twitter is that some people hold it against you if you remain neutral. Right. They'll take your silence as neutrality as an endorsement of whatever they're against. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna go into Twitter with fear though. It's like, you know, I can hold my own. I'm not really worried about it. If like, I know though that it's wild out there. I watch YouTubers. Sorry, I don't. My camera wants to autofocus right now for some reason. Let me get in the middle and see if that helps. Come on, camera. Can you focus on me? Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up in a second. I'll get to the last questions, and I should run because I need to go make photocopies of these pages and get working. Then they try to ruin your life, not just your channel, but also your live appearances and stuff. Yeah, I know, that's crazy stuff. Is this the time you'll be streaming on Fridays? Yeah, I'm thinking about that. If there's a better time, I mean, the best time for me to start would be 8:30 or 9. I could bump it back a little bit. But yeah, I would say I would prefer to do it in the morning, and I'll keep it like 45 minutes. It'll be, this is going longer because it's kind of new and we're you know, whatever, just having fun. But yeah, I'll keep it a little more structured. 90 minutes is a long time, but we're catching up. We haven't talked in a while, and I haven't done a live stream in a long time. So just thumbnail. So let's see. I'll check you out. Hey dude. Hey, what's up? PLOJ. So just thumbnail my first 22 pages for a comic I'm starting. Rich, you're my main source of inspiration, man. Awesome, dude. Thank you. Just like, dude, do not stop. That's the key. You have to stick to it. Like, my stop and go is the worst thing that I do. It's the biggest mistake that I've made. Is not being consistent. Sometimes it's out of my hands, but I have to take accountability for not being consistent with my own behavior. Sorry, talking about Wildstorm really makes me think of Oliver Numb. Yeah, I know, it's tough, man. We lost Oliver. That was awful. I cannot draw the head last. It always looks crazy. Yeah, you know, I mean, it's a balancing act. It's a slippery slope, as they say. You gotta do what works best for you. You know, it's just one of those things. Do you recommend life studies or anatomy books like Bridgman? Bridgman is difficult to start with, but Bridgman is kind of my go-to. And I think I had someone say that my work reminded them a little bit of John Buscema yesterday or this morning maybe. It was Hugh. And it probably comes from that, honestly, the Bridgman. It's like the Frazetta thing, you know? It's like I want to draw really powerful figures. So I've used a lot of Andrew Loomis would be, I think, the most versatile. If you're gonna go kind of old school, the Jack Ham book, figure is it? The Jack Ham book has got a brown cover with kind of yellow drawings on it. Sorry, my camera's autofocusing again. I think it might be called Drawing the Head and Figure, but Jack Ham is good. It's with two M's, Hamm. He has a cartooning book that's excellent too. The Walter Foster books are really good cartooning books. I love those. Or Preston Blair, I think they're called. But Andrew Loomis, you can actually find, there's the thing called the Loomis Project online. Andrew Loomis is really good, and it's a good thing. And then Michael Hampton. The Michael Hampton books are amazing. If you want to get into lighting, you want to do Scott Robertson is phenomenal. So that'll get you started. Yeah, thank you, Hugh. Yeah, Hugh, I just mentioned you. I'm Wild Black Lion. If you see me, follow me. Again, when the stream is over and you can comment in the comment section. If you want to post links to your Instagram, I'll follow everyone. Okay, I'm just making sure I don't miss anyone. Okay, so I'm gonna start wrapping this up. Rip seems like I joined at the end. Yeah, don't worry though. It'll be back up, so you can catch the stream, watch the whole thing if you want. Thanks for the question, Ranch. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I apologize it went so long, but like I said, we haven't done this in a while, so it's yeah. Look and see. He's C84 Public Enemy Steel mentioned the exact books I said. There you go. Great minds think alike. Scott Robertson too, right? You know. Hey, y'all, sign up for Patreon. Yeah, please sign up for Patreon. I'll have a link in the description box. You can find it on my other videos, though. It is actually really fun. I post 3 or 4 times a day, all kinds of stuff. Cool, man. I love hanging out in live chat. I'll start on the draw along today. Yeah, very cool. Final thoughts on Gustav Doré. Gustav Doré is great. He's not a huge influence on me, though. I'll be honest about that. He's definitely someone that you discover early in your career, and it kind of connects with you. It doesn't. His stuff is amazing, but the content always isn't like appealing to me. He's done stuff that I think is really, really good, but for me, I probably get it more from like Bernie Wrightson, Franklin Booth. I love a lot, and Travis. So those 3 and Frazetta. So it's like it probably channels through them. Barry Windsor Smith too, like is a big influence. Back to making headstones for me. Nice, draw some headstones. But Gustav Doré is great. But he's an etching artist, I believe. Like I don't think those are pen and ink. Thanks, Rich. Okay, so Michael Hampton's great for beginners. Yeah, Bern Hogarth, if you can find it, is great for anatomy too. It's good. The drawing the head and figure is probably his best book. Yeah, it is. Bern Hogarth is dangerous. Don't get that handbook. No, you can get it. It's all right. Just watch my video, and I'll tell you, there's good stuff in it, and there's some kind of crazy stuff. I would learn hands from combination of Bridgman and Michael Hampton. I'm sticking with that. Am I too late? Yeah, you're a little late, Michael. But the thing is you can watch it. It'll be up in a second. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Sephirotexo. Thanks for live stream. Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Benjamin. Villapoo is great. Yes. Like is he Swedish, Denmark, something like that? But it's Vilppu. He's a really good teacher. You can find some of his books online for free. But yeah, he's great too. Highly recommend. And as an artist, the more people like that you have, like a peer like me or the people that are in the chat, they're going to turn you on to all this stuff. So that's kind of, sorry, I'm trying to get my camera to autofocus. That's kind of the fun of like learning and getting to know other artists is, you know, when I showed up at Wildstorm, they're like, do you know this artist, like Michael Golden? I'm like, no, like, who's that? And then you see it and you're like, oh man, okay, like Michael Golden is really good. So James Gurney. Why are you so cool, Rich? What's your secret? You know what? I've just always been. I don't know if I'm cool, but I care about people. It's like my last name is Friend. I was cursed from the beginning. All right, okay, I'm gonna go. Smash the like. Let's do it. We got 52 watching. We can get it to 45, maybe. Maybe you guys already hit like. But all right, everyone, have a great day. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'll be back Friday with another one, and I'll do a video today. I don't know if I'll upload it today with the final of that Finch piece because I'm going to finish that up either today. I'll probably ink these pages today, but by the end of the weekend, I'll have it. And I will do a super fun Sunday. I'll grab out something fun for that. So I'll see you all this weekend, probably twice. All right? I love you all. I'm serious. I mean that. And just work hard on your art and you'll get better. That's really the key. It sounds very simple, but just check out my channel and watch videos. Let your instincts guide you. If something looks interesting, put it on. I guarantee you'll get something from it. All right? Talk to you all later. Bye. I don't even know how to turn this off. It's been so long.